In our sisterhood, I hear this story all the time. A woman, let's call her Maya, does everything right. She gets a good job, budgets, and saves 10% of every paycheck. She feels responsible, like she's winning with her money, until life happens. A car repair, a medical bill, or a rent hike wipes out her savings in an instant. She wonders what she did wrong, but the truth is, she did nothing wrong. The rules have changed. In 2026, the cost of living, housing, food, transportation, has skyrocketed. That old advice to save 10%? It's comforting, but dangerously outdated. It creates a false sense of security, making us believe we're on track when we're actually running a marathon with a sprinter's map. The problem isn't your discipline or desire for a better future. It's that financial advice hasn't kept up with reality. You cut back, save diligently, but still lie awake at night, anxious about job loss or affording a home. This isn't failure. It's a sign the old map no longer leads to the treasure. If you're saving 10% and still struggling, you're not alone, and it's not your fault. The goalposts have moved, but no one told you. It's time to expose the 10% myth and build a plan that works for our lives today. The goal is not just to save, but to become financially whole. To understand why the 10% rule fails us, let's look back. The idea comes from the 1926 book, The Richest Man in Babylon, which taught people to pay yourself first by saving a tenth of what you earn. In the post-war boom, this advice worked. One income could support a family, pensions were common, and college was affordable. Saving 10% was a supplement to a system designed to support workers into old age. But today, that foundation is gone. Pensions have been replaced by 401ks, job security is rare, and costs have outpaced wages. The 10% rule was built for a world of stability and predictability that no longer exists. Now it's like using a 1950s roadmap to navigate a 2026 superhighway. The destination, financial security, remains, but the roads and vehicles have changed. We need new directions for today's reality. Let's break down the numbers. Meet Sarah, earning $60,000 a year, taking home $4,000 a month. She saves $400 a month, 10%, just like she's supposed to. But rent alone is $1,800, nearly half her pay. Add student loans, car expenses, utilities, and groceries, and her budget is squeezed tight. After essentials, she's left with just $650 for everything else. Emergencies, fun, or unexpected costs. One surprise expense, and her savings are gone, or she's in debt. Even with a good income and discipline, the 10% rule leaves her living on the edge. That $4,800 a year in savings? It won't cover a medical emergency or a home down payment, and it's nowhere near enough for retirement. The math just doesn't work anymore. The 10% rule is out of touch with today's costs. We need a new approach. The financial squeeze hits everyone, but women, especially in our sisterhood, face unique challenges. Childcare costs can eat up 20–40% of a mother's income, forcing tough choices: work just to pay for care, or leave the workforce and sacrifice future earnings. Healthcare costs are higher for women, with out-of-pocket expenses adding up fast. Caregiving for children or aging parents compounds the financial and emotional stress. Housing costs hit single mothers and single-earner households hardest, leaving little room for savings. When half your income goes to rent, building an emergency fund or saving for retirement feels impossible. One missed paycheck or unexpected bill can trigger a crisis. The 10% rule ignores these realities. For many women, it's not just hard, it's unrealistic. We need advice that reflects our real lives. Let's look at Alicia, a single mom earning $50,000 a year, taking home $3,400 a month. She tries to save $340, 10%, believing it's the key to her future. But her two-bedroom apartment is $1,600, childcare is $600, and student loans, car payments, and insurance add up fast. Groceries, utilities, and a phone bill push her monthly expenses to $3,750. Her income is only $3,400. She's already $350 short before saving a dime. Alicia isn't living extravagantly. She's just trying to survive. The 10% rule isn't just difficult. It's mathematically impossible for her. She's forced to use credit cards or hope for extra shifts to close the gap. The stress is constant, but the numbers show the system, not Alicia, is failing. For millions like her, financial advice must start with survival, not savings percentages. The old rules don't fit today's reality. We need strategies that acknowledge the real cost of living. It's time to rethink what financial success looks like. Survival comes first. Even if you manage to save 10%, the long-term outlook is still grim. Women live longer, often have career gaps, and face a gender pay gap, meaning we need to save more, not less. Take Sarah. Saving $6,000 a year from age 30 to 67, she might reach $1.1 million with good returns. But after inflation and safe withdrawal rates, that's about $44,000 a year, less than her working income and before taxes. Healthcare costs in retirement can wipe out savings fast. This scenario assumes no job loss, no emergencies, and no career breaks, rare for most women. The 10% rule ignores these realities. It sets women up for a retirement that's far less secure than promised. We need a plan that accounts for our real lives and unique challenges. The old rule just isn't enough. If the 10% rule is broken, what's next? Build resilience, not just savings. Start by focusing on the present. Prioritize an emergency fund, your "oh crap" fund, before anything else. Aim for 3 to 6 months of essential expenses, even if you start small. Automate what you can, $25, $50 a week, into a separate account. This fund is your shield against life's surprises. Once that's in place, focus on increasing your income. For many, there's no more room to cut. Earning more is the only way forward. Negotiate a raise, learn new skills, or start a side hustle. Then, use a waterfall method. After expenses, extra income goes to your emergency fund, then high-interest debt, then retirement. Some years you'll save more, some less. Flexibility is key. Ditch the rigid 10% rule. Adapt your savings to your life, not the other way around. This approach empowers you to make the best decisions for your situation. Financial resilience is about adapting, not following outdated rules. Here's the most important message. If you're struggling to save 10%, you are not a failure. Your budget isn't broken. The system is. The advice you were given was for a world that no longer exists. The guilt and anxiety you feel are symptoms of a broken system, not a reflection of your worth. The pressure to save 10% creates a cycle of self-blame and stress. It's time to break that cycle and stop judging ourselves by outdated standards. Our goal is financial wholeness, not perfection. Financial wholeness means having a plan that works for you, feeling in control, and being able to handle life's ups and downs. Celebrate small wins. Automate a $20 transfer, negotiate a raise, or just make it through a tough month. Progress, not perfection, is what matters. Let's make a pact as a sisterhood. Throw out the old rule book. Replace judgment with compassion and rigid rules with flexible strategies. Focus on your emergency fund. Look for ways to grow your income and be kind to yourself. You're doing your best in a challenging world. By moving forward with knowledge and self-compassion, you're building a life of security, dignity, and freedom. You've got this.